Good evening, Facebook fam, Instagram fam, TikTok fam. Good evening. Hoping you guys had a great, productive day. I did. My day was awesome. Uh, Beautiful weather in the city of New Orleans. Um, Man, this was a good day. Good day. Good day, good vibes. Very, very uh, good day. So, the this is my evening recap. I wanted to do this um, yesterday, but I mean, like my schedule, uh, it didn't allow me to do like a evening recap. But I like to do a self assessment at the end of my day, and I'm about to retire for the day. Have to be in the Chalmette area tomorrow morning, so I want to get a good night's rest. But I wanted to share this experience with you guys. And the title of the recap is Message to the Entrepreneur. Message to the Entrepreneur. So many of you guys know I moved back to New Orleans, and um, my goal is to reestablish some things that I had in Atlanta / New Orleans over the years in the health and wellness industry. Many of you guys know I spent the last 180 days in a rehabilitation program, recently graduated. And through those 6 months, it's a lot of revelation that's been happening, and things that I have been experiencing. One of the breakthroughs in my life, as I learned how to release, share, and be, transparent about things that's on my mind and heart, because many of you guys know now that I've been struggling with depression for a long time. And one of the things that I would often do is to keep things bottled up, because I didn't really trust nobody, didn't want to share, didn't want to, be transparent and be honest about what's really going on with me. As a result, I mean, that was one of the issues that was bringing me into these multiple episodes with dealing with depression. So, for the last several months now, I've been able to share. I've been able to be transparent. There's a lot of wounds that's being healed currently because of my honesty, because of my transparency. And one experience that I often have, and this is why the title of this recap, self-assessment, recap, is the message to the entrepreneur. Most of the times when you start a business, when you have an idea, when you have a certain drive to do something, um, it's you have a tendency to start in an area that's close to you. Um, I mean, it might be a certain demographic, it might be a certain ethnic group, you know. I mean, whatever that's close to you at the time. And as an entrepreneur, sometimes we think the group that's close to us is going to be, receptive and supportive to our vision. Uh, you would think that it would be natural for someone that's close to you to want to support you, uh, from a monetary standpoint, just time and, coming together to network, to bounce ideas, maybe in the form of referrals if you have a business, referrals and, suggestions. But as I stated in the walk and talk, there was a study. A researcher appeared on the scene and studied every inhabitant part of our planet and studied the oppressed people around the world. Just like if you want to start a business, you have to have certain numbers on demographics, your target audience, target, clientele that you want to attract to your business. This is the same methodology that this researcher did. And in doing that, there was a body of knowledge that was presented, and it gave certain percentages to certain characteristics of groups of people. And what I want to talk about tonight is what I talked about earlier, is the 85%. The 85% of the population is who? It's a group of people that's easy to lead in the wrong way, hard to lead in the right. As the Bible described this people as hard-necked, hard-headed, stiff-necked, rebellious individuals. Easy to lead in the wrong way, hard to lead in the right. So you have to have that in back of your mind as an entrepreneur, if where you see yourself stuck of lack of progress because you're experiencing some frustration from those that's close to you, that's not even attempting to help you out, to provide any type of support or any type of referral of any type. If you have a business and you think that that's automatic, it's not. As I said, the story about, when I ran an indoor bounce facility, the owners at the time didn't want to kind of like market it in a certain way as how I thought that we should market it to start to scale a business per se. But I went out on what I thought was going to be automatic, right? So I went out and I got in contact with my family and friends, and thinking that I was going to get a referral out of it, the business was going to come, but it never did. None of my so-called, close friends over the years even stepped foot in the building, and all of them had children. So you'd be like, man, huh? I'm talking about people that's coming from a so-called conscious / woke type of, organization or community. Wouldn't even spend $1. And these people was like right in back of the bounce house. Their neighborhoods was right next. And we was like, man, why, huh? Why are we not getting support from people we know? What happened? Why? So, this researcher also said the hardest job that could be given to any human being is the resurrection of the dead. Not the dead in the physical sense, but the dead mentally. What is a dead person that's walking around that's mentally dead? I would say a person that's like how this wise man described a group of people that practices rugged individualism. And as a result, that's why nothing has never improved, right? Like your personal life may have improved in some kind of way, but from a community aspect, no. In certain communities, it's getting worse. Rugged individualism. So, over the years, I found myself trying to fight through the reality of certain communities just moved in a way that wasn't beneficial, to my growth as a business that's attempting to sustain itself. So even when you try to form a support group, a support staff for your business, you try to start with people that's close to you. And what I found over the years that don't work. So now, in 2023, I come out of the recovery program. The spirit is in me to do positive things in the city of New Orleans to make a difference. And, like I stated earlier, that we have a tendency to want to involve people that's close to us because we think, based on our relationship as a friend, as a brother, as a sister, or whatever the case may be, you think it's automatic. But it's not. And not trying to say that I'm outside of the 85%, because I'm still working my way to get up out of that 85% population, that how the researcher described the 85% as. So whenever I see something that concerns myself, I ask myself, am I that? Or have I ever been that? 9 times out of 10, I could say, yeah. So, whenever I bring these situations up, it's just to, have a moment, a teachable moment for me, to inner reflect. So the message to the entrepreneur is, me being a person that has sales, marketing, psychology, sociology, physiology, personal training, group training, nutritional certifications. It's that you have to remind yourself after you have an interaction with somebody that's close to you that you think should react or behave a certain way as it relates to supporting a business venture or business vision. And it don't matter what title they come as. It really don't matter. It's the fact that as an entrepreneur, you have to understand that it's a big world. I was in the line several weeks ago, and a voice spoke to me and it said, Ben, I need you to be a salesperson for me. Like all of that success you had with the companies, the millions of dollars that you sold, I need you to help me to save 1 million lives. You guys could take it how you want to take it. That's how it came to me. Later on that day, I was talking to a guy in the rehabilitation center, and after that interaction, the voice came to me and said, why do you turn off your salesman mode when you go into personal mode. Like, why, when you go into personal mode, you have a tendency to isolate? I need you to be in salesman mode all the time. But the difference is you're a salesman for me. I say, yes, sir, I hear and obey. And then once that instruction came to me and I started to practice on a day-to-day basis, I noticed that doors was opening all over the place. And as a result, that's how I've been going about my day, like a salesperson for God. Same type of principles: prospecting, marketing, sales, gathering information, phone numbers, email addresses, categorizing the prospects into different categories of, whether it be a business relationship, whether it be a prospect for, one of the fitness programs of Synergy Fitness 365. It's the same thing. Recently, I made a list of 2 business prospects, which means that, possibly, business partners, possibly some type of support type of staff, for what we're trying to do in the city of New Orleans. And I made 2 sheets. One sheet was of one demographic, the other sheet was from another demographic. And what's happening is now I'm opening up my mind to cover a wider area. As before, for some reason, I kept dealing with this certain demographic, but never was getting any type of, positive results. But until I started to open up my mind and understand as an entrepreneur, it's, it's the universe, man. And everybody that's in it. And if a certain, demographic is not aiding you in your progress, then you have to, release yourself from it, because it's a waste of time. It kills your spirit and drive, from dealing with people who you think is going to be, some type of support or, some type of, avenue that you can go to and expect that, that they would support you as a person, and support your business. But sadly, over the years, that never was the case. And I kept going over and over and over and over and over and over. Until recently, revelation hit me and said, man, you ought to have, just like you have a community outreach for your health and wellness, is a community outreach for everything, especially when you're dealing with a certain demographic. Like, you have to, like, I don't want to be the one to be like, man, I'm out. I don't even want to deal with this no more. I'm gone. Because I feel that, I was there, and I could be currently there. You know what I mean? But I'm striving to do daily activities, right? That's going to, put me in a better position to not falling back in those non-productive ways. So the message to the entrepreneur is, man, yeah, those people that you think that's close to you, it's not, that they could be, but there's a lot of jealousy and envy. It's a lot of psychological trauma. It's a lot of things, that people deal with that they don't even, that they're not even aware of why they do certain things, the way they do it. But we need to sustain ourselves, man. So me, and this is what I'm understanding, is that I'm no longer going to put myself in those situations where it caused me frustration because someone that's close to me has disappointed me, haven't supported my business, can't click on a link, can't even view a podcast. Like, these things is like, you know what I mean? And it's just a waste of time. So if you guys watch, the Walk and Talk, it's like, man, the Walk and Talk previously to the Walk and Talk about the dietary law this morning, with the walk and talk before that. And it was about, demographics, and I was just sharing an experience that I had that, man, like, I mean, people that I thought was my friend, you know what I mean? And I still consider these people my friends, but socially, but not the business of life. See, that's the difference. And that's the message to the entrepreneurs, that you can have friends on a social level. Go out, go to the Saints game, do this and do that, work out together every now and then, and, travel together. But the business of life, that's a different type of relationship that you have to understand, that certain connections is not, you don't want to go there with them. You just don't want to go there with them. So you don't, you don't reject a person because they don't support your business. Because they might just be that. I mean, just a social type of connection. So any entrepreneur that has started a business and know that, I mean, you put your hard blood, tears, sweat, into your vision. And it disappoints one when the people that's close to you don't support it in any form or fashion. Like, we couldn't even get people to click on a link at the comfort of your home. You can't click on a link? I mean, because the technology now is like, man, you don't even have to get out your house to support people's businesses. But, man, you can't even click on a link. I had a brother tell me, I don't click on links because of security reasons. I'm sending you a podcast from my phone to your phone, and you say you don't click on a link because of security? I can almost promise you that this individual has probably been on Amazon, shopped on online Walmart, clicked on links at a self-checkout. Like I did a text I sent out. I was like, man, I've been in rehab for the last 6 months. I have different friends from all walks of life. And I'm like, boy, like the people who really, really know me, I didn't even get no visitation. Like, before I wouldn't even talk about it. But now, I mean, since I've been learning how to be transparent and get things off my mind and heart, like, man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But people that just got to know me is come and see me and all of this other stuff. That's the same type of experience I had with business relationship with people who I thought that was close to me. Same type of experience I had coming up out of a rehabilitation type of situation. I mean, no visitation. You know what I mean? New Orleans is a small city. And I recently, like a friend of mine recently came, we got together, and had some dinner, but inside of those 6 months of you trying to, clean yourself up and, get yourself better, mentally and spiritually, I didn't have no visitation. It took me about 4 to 5 months, to start really reaching out to people, and what I did, luckily, I have experience in dealing with this area, and I didn't take it to worsen my situation, with dealing with depression. So, I always have this affirmation. It's me and the G-O-D. It's me and the G-O-D. So, message to the entrepreneur, man, people that's close to you. Yeah, but don't get frustrated and don't force that.
I mean, a good friend of mine sent me a text because she felt my frustration. And at the time, I believed that she read my heart to a T. And she was like, man, you keep pecking at the door of something that's really not never going to happen. I mean, why are you wasting all this energy trying to explain and break down things to a dead people? Let's just keep it a buck. So my experience today, this is how I know that we have the ability to will things into our existence. If we're striving to clean our heart, mind, and soul up, the universe is going to respond. I was on Facebook and I was looking at a post of a guy that had a t-shirt on, and I went into his commentary section and I was like, so what's the meaning behind the shirt? And he responded. And I thought that this person's name was Sydney. So when I saw something else pop up, I thought I was still talking to this person. But this was another person. And when I pulled the page up, I was like, okay, yeah. So I just talked to this guy about his t-shirt. He must be like a graphic designer. And then I went into the page and put my information in, and Sydney responded back. But when the Sydney responded back, I looked at the profile. I was like, man, that don't really look like who I think that I'm talking to. But long story short, Sydney is a marketing agency on the North Shore. And I thought it was this person that I commented on about the t-shirt, but it wasn't. And we set up a time to talk today. And as I'm talking to this person, and the spirit was kind of letting me know that, yeah, right? I haven't physically met this person, but I could tell you that, I don't characterize this person as somebody that's close to me per se. It's more of, it's a teachable moment, is to say that you need to open and expand your area in life, right? It's a lot of opportunity for you to assemble a support staff for your company, but don't necessarily have to be within your circle right now currently, because you probably need to expand your circle. And that's the reason why you lack the progress in your business, because you keep going to this certain demographic. And as the sister stated in her text, you keep pecking at the door that's not open. Why? Because we attempt to go into these, relationships, with the hopes that because this person is close to me, that, man, like, this should happen. So, maybe if I talk about it, maybe if I put it out on the table, man, and we create a dialogue around it, but none of that ain't really, like the researcher said, the hardest job that can be given to any human being in the annals of history is the resurrection of the dead, the mentally dead. Like, when you're dealing with somebody that's mentally dead, and you're trying to establish some type of business relationship, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. But when you expand your area, multi different demographics, in terms of networking, in terms of assembling a support staff around your business, then just like how we had demographic A versus demographic B in a previous broadcast, then now you see where the numbers are. Like, damn, well, demographic A, demographic B. So I think I ought to make some adjustments. So Sydney, marketing agency out of the North Shore. And the moment that I was talking to this person, I felt a certain type of comfort. The person understood what I was saying. It was great feedback. It was similar stories. And I'm thinking to myself, while I was listening to this person, I was like, boy, see, this is God intervening into my affair, because I was yearning for that. I got pages and pages and pages of notes of potential business prospects from different demographics. And I would look at a common demographic on my prospect list and be like, man, I don't know how, the history there, I don't know. I don't even know why I'm putting this person down on the list. Could this person be useful or not? But now I'm glad God is beginning to work with me and to help me to understand and realize that I have to expand my area into a more worldly, universal type of view, which means from an entrepreneur standpoint, you want to expand your support staff from different demographics, right? Don't get stuck in one way, especially when that one way has never been really helping you at all. So after the conversation with this person, marketing agency, North Shore, I was like, man, that was a breath of fresh air. Wow. Similar stories, similar drive, understood the aspect in what I wanted to do with Synergy 365, understood the points and the vision behind the Mardi Gras Jam second line aerobics class, understand the drive and the vision behind Body by Ben Fit program for women, understood it. First time I ever talked to this person. Similar stories. And it was something that I was yearning for, because I learned this from my Sears days as a support staff. The store manager at the time had all ladies, department managers. I was like, man, you're getting all these ladies. Because women are by nature like natural support people. Like, sometimes, as men, we find it hard to kind of like be of a support role to another man. It just kind of, we do it, but we don't flow in it like a woman would flow in it. And I know from a support standpoint, I needed that feminine energy, right? Even if I would have on my prospect list a male that could possibly be of use because they have this particular skill set or particular experience. Every time that I would look at that name, I would feel like, I don't know if I could go all the way. You know what I mean? But that woman is naturally support. And in most cases, she's not looking for no headlines. She just want to be a good support. And this is what I feel from this person that I talked to, and I told her, I was like, man, that's the type of feminine energy that I was yearning for, that it creates that balance, to get a feminine perspective as to what we want to do with the health and wellness organization that we have. And she was like, yeah, because, matter of fact, it was going back and forth, man. Great vibration. Great energy. And I thought to myself, I said, man, I wasted all my time trying to run behind people I know from past experience wasn't good business partners. I don't even know why. I mean, I don't even know why I even involve some people that has outright negatively impacted me over my life. But I step into these relationships as like, okay, I mean, I can forgive because I mean, I'm not perfect either, and I probably caused some type of negative type of situation in your life. But to be frank with you, message to the entrepreneur is, man, either have them in a community outreach type of relationship, or, I mean, if they good social partners, I mean, to go to the game with, but the business of life, no. Don't even waste your time. And I'm not going to wait. Like, I made a declaration a couple of days ago. Like, I'm not going to waste my time. I mean, why should I waste the time to read a statistic coming from a certain demographic that can't even support what you're doing with the click of a finger? I'm like, why am I wasting my time for that? I mean, you can't even click a link. Oh, I don't click on links. Oh, I'm busy. Oh, I'm that. Man, I ain't seen these people allocate all kind of time and money to go to Zulu balls and Rex balls and bus rides to Atlanta and all of this stuff. So that, oh, I'm busy, no time. Come on, man. I mean, you find time for what you want to do. And this certain demographic has never been about community. So that's why it struggles. But I'm glad that God is showing me and, shedding some light on some things about, my judgment calls. I mean, if you really want to do this thing, man, you have to expand your area, to be a universal entrepreneur, right? The researchers said this information that I'm providing to you would put you in a position where you can acquire friends from all walks of life, money, luxury homes, from all walks of life, acquire friendship from all walks of life. That's the key point that I'm driving home to the aspiring entrepreneurs. Acquire networks and friendships from all walks of life. Don't get stuck in one area because this group is close to you, per se. I mean, don't do it. Acquire friendships in all walks of life. And after this experience I had today, I mean, it's reconfirming with me that that's going to be my direction. Acquiring friendships from all walks of life. I thought that I've done that because I thought because I always thought of myself as a universal type of person. I'm, like all walks of life. I kind of thought that was something that I always did, but I didn't. You know what I mean? From a business standpoint, So I just kind of wanted to show you guys my experience on that. Be on the lookout for the Mental Health Ministry podcast, episode 3. The title of it is going to be Cause and Effect. When we're going to explain how is that related to one that's struggling from depression, anxiety, and different things that they label us in the world of psychology / psychiatric field. So, so we're gonna record it. I'm still looking at ways of broadcasting it live, but I'm gonna record it and I'm gonna publish it. It's probably gonna go up. I don't think it's gonna go up tonight, but it may go up. Tomorrow.
God willing.
So yeah, this is your brother, Ben J. Willard. This is just an evening recap, self-assessment thing that I've been doing. And, I kind of thought that this experience could be useful, to some of the aspiring entrepreneurs that's, frustrated that certain segments that are close to you is not even supporting your business. So with that being said, I'm going to log out, man. I'm going to get me a good night's sleep because I got a big day tomorrow. But be on the lookout for that mental health ministry podcast. I'm out.